Hello, and welcome to my channel. I'm Mandi, author of 10 young adult novels so far, 8 of which I'm rewriting this year. Welcome to vlog 23 of that adventure. I am by the farm for my by the farm. Wow, I'm at the farm. I'm by the barn is what I was trying to say. Barn. I am by the barn for this morning's intro because my usual tree area was infested with spiders this morning. Apparently at 7:30 in the morning, all of the spiders have freshly made webs. I don't really understand because by the end of the day, when I usually film like in the afternoon, it's not full of spider webs, and I don't know who's breaking the spider webs between morning and afternoon, but somebody does because it's not usually so spiderwebby. Anyway, we are currently finishing up some quick edits on book 1 to send to my critique partner, and then debating whether to start book 4 rewrites or to focus on self-editing book 1 so it's ready for August. Haven't really decided what I'm doing yet. One of those options. You'll know soon enough. Today I'm going to be writing down my plan for doing self-edits for book 1 in the Robin Hood series and then starting my read-through. That's probably all I'll get done today because I don't imagine I'm reading the entire book in this hour. So, welcome to Monday. I have been reading over Lucy's Legend today. I am 5 chapters in currently. I'm just reading through the story and making sure it's, you know, cohesive and enjoyable. That frog is very loud. I don't know if you can hear him or not. Anyway, yeah, I'm just reading through the story to get sort of big picture idea for what needs to be edited or changed. And then, because I've made a plan moving forward, I'm going to read the first half of the book just for Marion's arc and see if everything's as it should be. And then once I do that and make those changes, I will do another read through for Lucy's arc and then make those changes. And then from there I'm gonna start doing more like scene by scene, line by line edits. Honestly, based on what I was reading today, there's not a whole lot, I think, that will need to be done editing-wise, so I would love to be done with this, like, within a week. That might be, like, very generous estimate, but I'm kind of hoping to be done with this by Saturday, and then I can start working on book 4. Ah! Bees. Anyway, yeah, then I can work on book 4. After I've gotten Lucy's Legend to the point that it's ready for being uploaded and pre-orders, publication, all of that jazz. Yeah, I think I'll just focus on book 4 and move forward from there. I think book 1 is going to be the easiest editing-wise because it's all there. I know with books 2 and book 3, there are places where I left spots to like fill in or add scenes or alter things. So they will take more edits, but I think Lucy's Legend is going to be fairly easy. And then I guess it will just be ready for publication in August. It will have a different name. I have the new cover and it's amazing and I was so excited. Yeah, that's my current Monday update. I've got a couple more prickles today. Hopefully we'll get through several more chapters of this initial read through. I'd like to do it as quickly as possible so I can work on book 4, but I also want to do it well. So I'm balancing the speed and quality right now. I've read about 4 chapters so far today and I'm just reading. As for what I'm working on, I'm just reading through book 1 right now so that I can get an idea of what, if anything, needs to be changed big picture wise. So I'm on chapter 7. We're just gonna keep reading. And I'm on chapter 11, so progress is being made there. It was horrifying, Carrie. It was awful. It was terrible. I was just minding my own business, and the spider was on the wall, and then I tried to squish it, and then it disappeared somewhere in my stack of things on the desk right here by the computer, and I couldn't find it, and it was at the very end of a prickle, and so the last like 10 minutes I was just distracted trying to find the spider, and it was awful. And then on the next prickle I was on, I was just like telling people about it, and then like Birgit was like, don't stick your legs under your desk until you search under there, and then I just had to sit on my knees because I couldn't handle it. And then at some point, I don't even remember when, at some point today the spider came crawling back out, and I squished it and it's dead. So that's my story. Yeah. It was traumatic, but I hate spiders so much that like I've spent the whole day stressed out, but also like, so I squished it, but I am equally afraid of corpses as I am of actual spiders that are alive and can move around. So the corpse is still on the wall. I'm going to have to get someone to come clean it for me because I'm just like, I can't touch it. I can't do it. What if it comes back to life as I reach for it? Like, I can't. I'm reading through book 1 this week. I was looking for big developmental edits things, big picture stuff. But because I was rewriting a book I had already written, so it was really very polished and put together already. So far I haven't found anything. I have 3 more chapters to read, which is what I'll be doing this hour, but I haven't found anything major, so I think I'm just going to move into the line edits now instead of having to like rearrange big picture stuff, because I kind of already did that when I was rewriting it. And I am not entirely sure what I'm doing this morning because I finished reading through book 1 yesterday and there wasn't anything huge that I thought I needed to adjust or change. So I'm going to let that sit until I get notes back from my editor and then from Danny so that I can go back to it and make more changes. So while it's sitting, I might start outlining book 4, maybe this hour, I don't know. So last night, I finished reading through book 1, and I didn't find anything huge, major that needed fixing. Probably because I did the major fixing while I was rewriting the original books. So, with that in mind, I'm just going to let it sit for a minute until I get edits back, and then the rest of my critique partners' critiques, and then once I have those 2 things, I'll come back to it and, you know, make the more detailed changes. But otherwise, I think it's good. So I started formatting it last night. Almost cried because it started to look like a real book, and I was so excited. And I got the title file from my cover designer so that I could use the same, like, you know, font and the way it's set up. Anyway, so that the cover page and then when you open it, the title page match, which is not something I've ever done before. So that just made it feel so much more like a real book. I don't know how to describe it. I started videoing it last night because I put the file in there, like the image of the I don't even know how to say it, the cover font. Anyway, yeah, I stuck it in the document, and then I was just like, oh my gosh, it looks like a book. And so I started videoing it, and then I realized that I can't actually show you guys yet because I haven't revealed the cover or the new title. So you don't get to see it, but just know it looks amazing. So anyway, yeah, there's that. Also, on the cover, this was cracking me up last night. So in order to pay some homage to the original books, I had taken the subtitle of the original book 1, because it was Lucy's Legend, A Robin Hood Story. So I'd taken the subtitle of Robin Hood Story, and I was using that as my series title. Because the, the Robin Hood series has never had a series title. Officially, it's just been like the Robin Hood retelling, okay, yay. So I was going to give it an official series title by using the subtitle from the original book 1, which I thought was very nice of me. But when my cover designer put it on the back of the book, it says book 1 of A Robin Hood Story. I can't, it's gonna make me laugh again. Which just, it sounds so vague, you know? Book 1 of a Robin Hood story. Who knows which one or if it's any good. Like, I don't I don't know what it is about that sentence structure, but I was just like, this is the dumbest thing I've ever done. Book 1 of a Robin Hood story. Anyway, so I am debating the merits of using that subtitle as the series title. I did consider just changing the article from A to the, so book 1 of the Robin Hood story, but that sounds a bit pretentious, so I'm not sure what I'm going to do on that front. But it was entertaining me. I can't have the back of the book say book 1 of A Robin Hood story. Can't do it. Anyway, but since I've finished my read through and there wasn't anything major, my initial plan was to read through and see if there was anything major and make adjustments, and then to read the first half for Marian's story arc, and then read the whole thing again for Lucy's story arc. But as I was reading this time, I felt like I was getting a good picture of both Marian and Lucy's story arc, and neither of them really needed a lot of adjustment. So I'm debating whether I'm going to do the second 2 read-throughs for the story arcs, because I don't know that I need to. I might, just for fun, but basically I think all I need to do is line editing at this point. So I'm going to wait for my feedback from editor and critique partner and then work from there. So because of that, we're moving on to book 4. So now I'm going to be outlining book 4 officially, which I think is going to end up with 3 outlines, because I want the 3 parts of, well, I guess 4 outlines. I want the 3 parts of Alan's story, his life prior to the Crusades, and then the Sherwood shenanigans, to each have their own Save the Cat outline, because they each have their own, like, yeah, he has so much story. And then there's going to be the overarching story that encompasses all 3 of them. So yeah, I think I'm making 4 outlines. And then he'll have a part 1, part 2, part 3, but it will all be, hopefully, cohesive. So that's my plan for today, and we'll see how that goes. Alan's outline is done. Between his 2 Romancing the Beat outlines and then this outline for Save the Cat, which is actually 4 Save the Cat outlines that bleed into each other, this man has like 12 pages of outline content. It's insane. Yeah, his book, The Tragedy of the Traitor, is the biggest one in my Robin Hood series, and it seems that will still be the case based off of this ridiculously massive outlining experience. So I missed a bunch of prickles today because I laid down at 11 o'clock, and then now it's suddenly 3:15. This is what the 6 a.m. prickles do to me. Not something I can sustain. But I really enjoy going to them, so I keep doing it. I've been sifting through all of the opening Alan scenes, and there's a lot of childhood scenes that have nothing to do with Alan, and everything to do with Duncan, his father, who's very superstitious, and William, a family friend. And some of the scenes, I mean, they're good scenes and interesting characters, and I love them. But they have nothing to do with Alan, so my initial thought was to cut them. So I've been cutting them. Guys, it's tragic. It's almost as tragic as cutting out Will's interruptions in Dusty. Because there's just so much good stuff here. And I also know for a fact that William is actually readers' favorites when they read The Tragedy of the Traitor. They're not there for Alan, they're there for William. So, here's what I've been doing. I've been taking all of the scenes that I'm not putting in the new Alan book, and I've been putting them in their own document, and what I think I'm going to do is use those opening scenes plus more maybe that I come up with, and I'm going to have a Duncan and William short story, which maybe I'll put at the back of The Tragedy of the Traitor just so people still have it, because I know William is everyone's favorite. I have had people reach out to me and tell me that. I've had a young reader reach out on Instagram and ask me to write more William story. He needs to be in the book. He just does. But it just has nothing to do with Alan at the beginning. And I have cut the book into 4 parts now based on how I outlined it. And I could leave the other stuff, maybe have a 5th part, and just be like, prior to Alan being the main character, and then the 4 parts. But that seems a little silly. So, I'm streamlining Alan's story because I think that's better for Alan, but I know that both I and my readers love the other stuff, so I'm collecting it and I'm going to do something with it. Whether I put it at the end of The Tragedy of the Traitor as just like a little gift to readers, or if I use it as like a sign up for my newsletter, read the short story thing, or maybe make it a little book of its own, depending on how big it gets once I start playing with it. I don't know. Yeah, I'm gonna have to do something with those scenes because they're interesting scenes and interesting characters, and I know for a fact that readers love them. So I have to do something, but I don't know what. So that's basically what I've been doing. I've been sifting through scenes and being like, man, I wish I could keep all of this, but we're not. I kept the very opening scene where Alan is born, because you're with his father and William and discussing the clan curse that Duncan believes in, which isn't a thing, but Duncan believes in it. And so that was important simply because moving forward, it explains why Alan is raised to be very spoiled, because he's believed to be a miracle child and, you know, survived the curse or whatever, and his family just spoils him. Yeah, so part 1, which is his love story with a girl named Erie, the backdrop of it is the family curse. So I had the opening scene, kind of like a prologue, except the actual prologue was Mary Lou and Aunt Lucy. But like a second prologue was Duncan and William as Alan is, you know, being born.